Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Nightmare Doll deck profile. A lot of you guys have been requesting for this, and so here it is. I've been playtesting with this deck for a lot of times because the deck is this deck is it's hard to make it uh it's hard to get the loop off consistently if you get a bad draw. And this I tried to minimize it, and it's been working pretty well for me. Uh, So yeah, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the starting Vanguard, we're running the old card from BT09. Um, skill is kind of last one. Put this card into soul. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck, and then choose a Pale Moon unit from that and put it in your soul, and then shuffle your deck. So she is very important. Before I tried running other stuff and it just didn't work. She really helps because you can check obviously the top 10 cards of your deck, and when you check the top 10, it's very likely you'll get at least one of the pieces you need to set up for your combo. And so yeah, it's really important. You either need Ginny, the grade 1, or Alice. Those are the main things you want to put into soul, and if you get at least one of those, you win off this card, so it's good. So next, we run for Catherine. Catherine also helps you set up for your combo, and she is the centerpiece for the combo. So her skill is, on when she's on the Vanguard circle, all your rearguard Alices get a new skill, and 1000 power. So the new skill is, go to last one. When this card attack doesn't hit, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose Nightmare Doll, choose a Nightmare Doll Alice in your soul and call it to rearguard circle, and then move the current unit into the soul. So you need to have two Alices. You need to have two Alices on your board for it to work. So you need one in your soul and one on the field in order for this combo to go off. So that's one of the main problems. If it worked if it worked by her going to soul first, then it would be better, but it doesn't work like that. So yeah, you need to have one on the field and one in the soul in order to work, because the current Alice's skill that you get from Catherine, she doesn't go in until after the unit is called. So actually, I'll explain that a bit later, but yeah, there's a lot of confusing rulings, I guess, some people might have problems with, but yeah, let's get onto the deck profile first. So next we're running for Alice. Alice's her own skill is kind of last one with this card into soul. When this card attack hits, if you have a Pale Moon Vanguard, you pay the cost. If you do, choose a unit in your soul that's not named Nightmare Doll Alice. That's a Pale Moon, and call it to a rearguard circle. So basically, if you hit with Alice, then you call something that's not Alice. If you don't hit with Alice, then you use Catherine's skill that use the skill that she gets from Catherine to call back Alice out, so you can continually loop the attacks. But there's more. But wait, there's more. Next, we're running for Brenda, Nightmare Doll Master Brenda. Brenda, she's from Fighters Collection 2015 Winter, and her skill is Rearguard. It works in the Rearguard circle. Move this card into Soul. Choose a Workaloid, and call it to a Rearguard circle, and then that card that gets called gets a new skill, and that skill is when this card is called to the Rearguard circle from your soul, you can choose a Nightmare Doll Master Brenda from your Rearguard circle, from your soul, and call it. And then the second skill is when this card's calls from the soul to the Rearguard circle, she can activate her active skill until the end of your turn, for the rest of the turn. So basically, you use her skill to call out something from your soul, and then when that unit gets put back into your soul, you can call this back out again, but then you can't loop because her second skill prevents you from doing that. And mainly she's here to help you fetch cards that you need. And she also sets up for Beatrix plays. So next running for Ginny. Ginny is one of the key cards in the deck. Her skill is put this card into a soul. When this card is placed on the rearguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a Nightmare Doll Alice in your soul and call it to your rearguard circle, and that unit gets plus 5,000 power. So basically, if your Alice hits, you're gonna call this out, and this will call out Alice back, so that you can continue to loop. So this is why you need to have Ginny, Alice, and an Alice on the field in order for the combo to work. That's the minimum. If you want to have more shenanigans, there's other stuff that you use. But next, we're running 3 of the Nightmare Doll Marionette. The 10K attacker for Nightmare Silver Thorns. Running her because she has a Workaloid, so she's a Workaloid. And if you have a Workaloid, you can field it for Beatrix skill because it doesn't require Nightmare Dolls. It requires Workaloids. And Brenda here is actually not a Workaloid. Yeah. So keep that in mind. You can't put her into Soul with Beatrix's skill because she's not a Workaloid. Next we're running the grade 1 Nightmare Doll from the GBG05, and her skill is when a Nightmare Doll Alice gets called from the soul, you can stand this unit. So basically, whenever your Alice is stood, if you put this behind, if it gets called, she just restands. So you can actually abuse this by forming a column just hers, so that whenever your Alice doesn't hit or hits, you just go for shenanigans. It's actually really good, but I'll explain how to maximize it when I get to the tutorial section, because there are a lot of tricks in this deck that you can do. So next, running 4 of the Masquerade Bunny. Masquerade Bunny is the Shrine Enabler. Running 4 in this deck because most of the time you don't want to ditch your Alice. Because she'll be used on your field and in your soul, so you won't have as much grade 3s to ditch as usual. So we're going to run 4 Masquerade Bunnies. But there's a lot of times in this deck where you don't even need to get 2 grade. You don't need a Stride to win. If you're putting grade 2 and you have the right setup, you can potentially kill them right there. Next, running 2 Purple Trapeze. She's mainly there if you have 2 Alice in Soul and you have no way to get out. She's mainly here to help you do that. For example, if you get her skill and her skill off for your Alices and you'd have no way to use them, then you're gonna have Purple Trapeze here to help you out. And running 4 Program Gs because this deck is pretty Counterblast heavy, for obvious reasons. And running 4 of those. For triggers, running 4 Poison Juggler. This card is MVP. He's so good. You put him in the soul and give her plus 3k, and then you have suddenly an even more amazing column for attacks. It's great. And then running 4 of the Nightmare Doll crit. 4 of the Silverthorn crit because she's a Workaloid. Very important. And then running 4 of this heal. She's just an elf, but I think there might be a Workaloid version of her of the heal. I can really check real quick, but first, so it's really important that you think properly before you play out your moves, because there's a lot of chance that you'll misplay, and I'll explain in a bit how that might happen. So actually, get to G-Zone first. For G Zone, we're running 1 Amanda. On hit, soul charge 1, choose a card in your soul, call it out. You get 2,000 power, and at the end of the turn, put that card back in soul, and she's a Magia. We're running 1 Madu. Madu is here if you have to ride into Alice and ditch Alice in order to stride, so you can get your Alice back. And then so that when you get Catherine, you have the stuff that you need. It does happen. It's not nice to ride into Alice, but it does happen sometimes. Next, we're running 2 of the Silverthorn, not Silverthorn, the Lunatic Dragon. Skill is G flip. When this card is placed on Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, on the end of turn, you get the new skill. Whenever a unit is called from soul to the Vanguard circle, that unit gets plus 2,000 power. And Generation Break 3, this card gets an extra critical. Mainly, he's here for that extra crit. Sometimes if you're playing against Link Joker and your stuff, you just can't do anything. He still has extra crit, so you can hope that he doesn't Perfect Guard and you just crit them to death. Not likely though, but you know, Chaos Breakers are gonna Chaos Break. Next, we're running 1 Clifford. Clifford's skill is pretty much the same as Amanda, except it's not Magia. When this card attack hits, you may choose a grade 2 or lower card from your rear guard circle and call it to call it, and then it gets 2,000 power. Yeah. And then running 3 Beatrix. Beatrix's skill is choose 3 workeroids, and workeroid rearguards, and put them in your soul. And then when this card attacks at the end of the battle, if you have a Nightmare Doll Heart, you may pay the cost. If you do, put this card to the G zone, and then call 2 workeroids from your soul, and call it to your guard circle. So basically, you're gonna put 3 in and get 2 out, which is why Brenda comes in handy, because Brenda can come out when your when the unit that she called out goes into soul, so that you get 3 units back out. Yeah. She's also good for toolboxing. So here's how the combo works. The loop. Let's do the loop. So in your soul, you want to have Ginny. Let's just say you have a really amazing hand. Something like this. It doesn't really matter if you have a boost or not, but Ginny. So we have Ginny here. And this works best if you have 5 counterblasts open. This is why it's good against decks that rush you, because you can counter punish them. It'd be delicious. So if you feel like that, it doesn't. If you go first and you have to add 5 damage, you can try to finish your opponent off that turn. So let's just say your field is something like this. It's also better if you have the Poison Juggler, because Poison Juggler, if your opponent's grade 2, then this column will hit for 14, so it's a 15k guard. A 10k guard, sorry. In that case, you would, if your opponent's grade 3 though, you might want to use a Poison Juggler to pump this to a 10k, so that this column sits for 17, so that they also guard for 10. And then after that, here's how it works. So just say you attack and you get 0 checks, or you get 0 triggers. It's fine. You can still get a shitload of attacks through. Assuming they don't get any triggers, or assuming they're at 5 damage for some reason, then it's highly likely that you kill them. if they get trigger, then this combo is not as good, but it still chips cards out of their hand, so that's fine. So let's first you attack with this. So if they're at 9k Vanguard, or assuming you just did what I told you to do, then they're going to guard. You attack with this. If you hit, call Ginny, and you call this this column gets restood. This column also gets restood. This column will be hitting for. Let's just say we use the Cannon Blast for that. So this column will be she'll be 16, and then she'll be 7. If you have multiple poison jugglers, you can give it one to here, one to here, so that this column hits for even bigger. But yeah, so yeah, this column attacks again for 17 or 14, depending on if you use poison juggler or not. They guard or take a hit. Then this column attacks again. Kind of last one, hit or miss, whatever, stand. Assuming if you hit, you're gonna call Nightmare Doll, Alice, and she'll only be hitting for 17. I mean, if you hit, she'll be hitting for. This column will be hitting for 22 or something like that. 23. 16 plus 7. I'm bad at math. Yeah. And then if you don't hit, you'll only be hitting for 18, which is still fine. So then you'll attack with this again. Kind of last one. Stand. Attack. Stand. Attack. Kind of last one. Stand. Attack. So like that, you got 10 attacks off. But it is a very amazing hand. If you have this field. But even if you don't have this, you can still do it. You just go 11. 11 attack does not hit. Kind of last one. Stand. She just comes out from the soul. Attack. Yeah, basically you can do that. But if you don't have 2, then just put this behind. Then you just go keep attacking. You still get 5 extra attacks, 6 extra attacks. So yeah, it's pretty amazeballs. You get a lot of attacks in. Yeah, I might have missed something. It's getting late and I'm sort of tired, so I'm not in the best of conditions as usual. I'm never in a good condition when I'm making these deck profiles because I usually make them late at night. But if I miss anything, just comment down below. But I think I covered everything. Of course, if your opponent's grade 3 and you also grade 3, and you Shrine to Beatrix, you get even more attacks through. But you know, whatevs. Anyway, this is Cardhaku, and I'll see you guys there.